welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Canal Algérie News, and these are our top stories. The President of the Republic, Majid Tebboune, received the chairperson of the African Union Commission. The meeting focused on ways to strengthen cooperation between Algeria and the Commission in service of the African continent. The President of the Republic also received the Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia to Algeria, who paid him a farewell visit upon the completion of her mission. The African Union Commission commended Algeria's constructive role during its membership in the UN Security Council and affirmed that it will remain the cornerstone of African diplomacy at the 12th high-level seminar on peace and security in Africa. In Morocco, the worsening social crisis, mainly in the health sector, exposed the Merzoug regime and reveal the depth of the suffering of the Moroccan people. Welcome back. The President of the Republic, Majid Tebboune, received on Monday Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the chairperson of the African Union Commission, along with his accompanying delegation. The meeting was held in the presence of Boualem Boualem, Director of Cabinet at the Presidency of the Republic, Ahmed Attaf, Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the National Community Abroad, and the African Affairs, Ammar Abba, the President's Advisor for Diplomatic Affairs, as well as Mohamed Khaled, Algeria's Ambassador to Addis Ababa and Permanent Representative to the African Union. At the end of the meeting, the chairperson of the African Commission praised Algeria's achievements in economic development, describing it as a model to follow. We listen.
أنا لي الشرف الكبير أن يستقبلني فخامة الرئيس عبد المجيد تبون.
I had the great honor of being received by the President of the Algerian Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune. I also had the honor of listening to him. He is a man with vast experience and great wisdom. I appreciate his insightful vision, especially regarding the paths of economic and social development of this country, which could become a model for other African nations. He also shared Algeria's perspective on the crisis affecting the African continent, particularly in the Sahel region. Our exchange was frank and sincere. I was able to benefit from this vision on ways to resolve conflicts and crises. Together with Vice President Selma Malika Haddadou, we will work within the Commission to introduce necessary reforms to place the system at the heart of Africa's dynamic transformation. We will also work on developing the African Union's specialized mechanisms. I know that Algeria hosts several important institutions and agencies, including AFRIPOL. We will strengthen the work of these bodies so they become pioneers in delivering African solutions to African challenges. My visit to Algeria was truly important, and I'm very pleased with its outcomes. I remain convinced that we will continue this cooperation for the development of the continent and the handling of African issues.
وسوف إن شاء الله نعزز من نشاط هذه الهيئات.
The President of the Republic, Majid Tebboune, received on Monday Ana Petkovic, Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia to Algeria, who paid him a farewell visit at the end of her mission in Algeria. The meeting was held in the presence of Boualem Boualem, Director of the Cabinet at the Presidency of the Republic, and Ammar Abba, the President's Advisor for Diplomatic Affairs. At the end of the meeting, the Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia praised the excellent historical relations between Algeria and Serbia, reaffirming the constant will of both countries to strengthen them. We listen.
It was a profound honor to meet today with the President of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, as I bring my mandate as Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia to Algeria to a close. My time in this remarkable country has been marked by warmth, friendship, and the spirit of genuine cooperation that I will carry with me always. I'm sincerely grateful for the hospitality and trust extended to me by the President, the government, and the people of Algeria. These years have been both professionally rewarding and personally enriching, leaving me with memories I will deeply cherish. Serbia and Algeria are bound by a traditional friendship and decades-long cooperation, which provide a solid foundation for further strengthening our bilateral relations. Both our countries remain genuinely committed to advancing their mutual cooperation, and Serbia is determined to further intensify political dialogue while continuing to enhance political, economic, and all other sectors of cooperation, thereby further strengthening our overall bilateral relations. As I return to Serbia, I do so with a sense of pride in the enduring bonds we have fostered and with full confidence that the friendship between Serbia and Algeria and between our peoples will continue to flourish for generations to come.
During the 12th session of the Oran Process High-Level Conference on Peace and Security in Africa held in Algiers, participants reaffirmed Africa's united voice at the UN Security Council. Rauf Hamouche and Rani Al-Bahri.
A special edition for Algeria, which participates in a dual role as an African member of the United Nations Security Council, within the Right Group on one hand, and as member of the African Union Peace and Security Council on the other. Beyond this, as a high-level country and initiator of the Oran process, Algeria occupies a central position in coordinating African positions with UN decision-making mechanisms on security-related matters. We meet again in Algeria, in its capital, which hosted the beginning of this process during its first edition. That edition unveiled a strategic vision to unify the African path and strengthen its influence and impact within the UN Security Council as the main and most important forum for multilateral international action in peace and security. 12 years later, we return to the starting point, where the Oran process took its first steps to assess the remarkable progress made in realizing the strategic vision and translating it into tangible, perceptible results within the UN bodies and Security Council resolutions.
Le dispositif de A3+ représente plus qu'un mécanisme de coordination.
The A3+ framework represents a coordination mechanism forming a core of African multilateralism, and it creates a unique bridge between the international order and our continental architecture.
The work of this session should allow to evaluate the achievements of the A3+ mechanism, identify urgent challenges, and adopt new recommendations to improve coordination between the African Union and the United Nations.
Algeria has a great role to play. It's both a member of the African Union Peace and Security Council and the United Nations Security Council. And Algeria has been playing a prominent role in addressing security challenges around the continent. And it's a strong voice and a strong voice of reason in the continent. And one of the most Afrocentric voices, especially from the northern region. We trust that they will come up with solutions to security challenges, and we trust that they will work together with members and also coordinate with the members of the A3+ in New York very well.
Thanks to Algeria's active presence and the engagement of African Security Council members, the continent asserts its voice on the international stage and demonstrates its ability to propose concrete and effective African solutions to current security challenges.
At Algiers' initiative as current coordinator of the A+3 group, a consultation meeting was held in Algiers this Monday with outgoing incoming security members, including the Democratic Republic of Congo, Liberia, Bahrain, Colombia and Latvia. Held alongside the 12th Conference on Peace and Security in Africa, the meeting provided a platform to exchange views, share experiences and strengthen cooperation to reinforce A+3 Group's role as a unified voice for Africa within the Security Council. The Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, National Community Abroad and the African Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, met this Monday with the chairperson of the African Union Commission, Mahmoud Yusuf, on the sidelines of the 12th High-Level Conference on Peace and Security in Africa. The talks focused on political and security developments across the continent, including Sahel-Saharan region and the Western Sahara issue, as well as the role of the African amid a rapidly evolving international context. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, met the African Union Commissioner for Political Affairs and Security, Bankole Adeoye. In this regard, the discussion included ways to strengthen the African Union's capacity to address current peace and security challenges. Ahmed Attaf also met with Mohamed Yislam Baysat, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic. The two officials discussed recent development in the Sahrawi issue and examined ways to support the Sahrawi people's right to self-determination in line with the United Nations resolution, including the recent adopted one, 2797. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, also met with his Belarusian counterpart, Maxim Ryzhenkov, to view the current state and prospect of cooperation between the two countries. Africa's leaders seized this international conference as an opportunity to present a unified front demanding economic fairness, historical justice and strong control over the continent's resources and heritage. Najah Diyar.
At the International Conference on Colonial Crimes in Africa, experts sounded the alarm over the ongoing economic exploitation of the continent's wealth, urging tougher protection of Africa's resources and unified economic justice mechanisms. The proceedings continued with a clear objective: to establish a common African framework capable of defending the historical memory and securing long overdue justice. Algeria, through its proactive diplomacy, is encouraging the African countries to reassess their economic relations with multinational corporations and Western states, while activating African economic mechanisms and institutions to strengthen the economic sovereignty and reduce forms of dispossession inherited from the colonial period. Delegations moved to set a unified method for documenting the colonial era violations, placing urgent focus on the massive spoliation of land, the stripping of cultural heritage, and the seizure of archives.
So in reference to disposition, the point is that if we do not address these issues, that people in the world, especially in Africa, are stuck at a place where you can't move the agenda forward, and we can't get over the hump of.
A push to correct deep structural imbalances inherited from the colonial rule dominated discussions, as delegates stressed the need to boost Africa's capabilities in critical sectors, including transport, energy, and digital networks.
Well, there are many aspects of the negative impact of colonialism. One, in terms of the physical, the massacre of our people on the continent. We lost a lot of people. Algeria lost over 1.5 million people during its struggle. All over Africa, the story is repeated. Secondly, it's also psychological.
To ensure Africa's voice carries on the international stage, reporters examined proposals aimed at forging a unified and actionable legal framework. In 15 days, the two main mechanisms mandated to monitor and implement the African Union's decision on justice and reparations for Africans and people of African descent will meet for the first time. These mechanisms were established this year, and their mission is to draft a common African position on reparations and justice. It is crucial that this common position be translated into concrete steps within multilateral forums, first and foremost at the United Nations, where the African group has significant representation in New York and Geneva, as well as in other platforms. In a rare display of unity, participants affirmed a single African stance, vowing to safeguard the continent's cultural heritage as firmly as its wealth.
Moroccans persist in their fight for their basic rights, facing aggressive state repression, forced evictions, and worsening poverty. Najah Diyar once again.
Unbowed by arbitrary arrests and brutal expropriations, the Moroccan populace fiercely maintains a struggle for fundamental rights. And the Makhzen's relentless repression only worsens an already disastrous socio-economic crisis, plunging the daily lives of the citizens further into hardship.
As you can see, they keep demolishing. I had to take my bed and all my belongings out of my house. I'm sleeping out in the street. They tell us we have no right to live here. They came this morning to expel us and demolish our home. We are poor. We have nowhere to go. We have been living here for 25 years, yet they tell us we have no right to stay. We're going to end up in the streets.
Widespread demonstrations are now erupting across Moroccan cities, met with routine, heavy-handed state repression. And for the nation's citizens, this unyielding defiance remains their sole remaining recourse. We have nothing left to eat. We suffer day and night. Our children no longer sleep. They don't have enough to eat. All we know is misery. The Makhzen is ruthlessly silencing and marginalizing its own populace, even as it strives to sanitize its image before the international community.
Well, that was it for tonight. On behalf of all the team that made this broadcast possible, I do thank you for watching us. Stay tuned with Canal Algérie. Bye for now.